He fed the hungry, wounded warrior girl, not knowing that he had fed his future wife. The war had ended, but its ashes still clung to the streets of Varen's Reach, a city that had once been a fortress, now little more than broken stone and scattered bones. Eli Mercer, a human engineer left behind to rebuild, walked the ruins each morning with a bag of food slung over his shoulder. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a hero. Just a man trying to do something decent in a world that had forgotten what that meant. That was when he found her. One, the girl in the rubble. She was half buried under collapsed metal near an old drop ship. Armor cracked, blood dried on her skin, one eye swollen shut. Her insignia marked her as a Lasari vanguard, one of the alien warriors humanity had fought only months ago. When she saw him, she reached for a weapon that wasn't there. "Stay back, human!" Her voice was weak, trembling. Eli knelt beside her anyway. "Easy," he said. "You're hurt. I'm not here to finish the war." She spat weakly. "Your kind already did." He sighed, opening his pack and pulling out a ration bar. "Then this'll be your victory meal, I guess." He broke the bar in half and handed her a piece. She hesitated. Then hunger won. She ate, trembling. For the first time in days, her eyes softened. "Why?" she asked quietly. "Because you're starving," he said. "And I don't like seeing anyone starve." She looked at him for a long time, then murmured, "My name is Sarah Wyan." "Eli," he replied. "Nice to meet you, Sarah, even if your people nearly killed mine." A faint smile ghosted across her cracked lips. "Then perhaps we start even." 2 days of silence. Eli built her a shelter in the hollow of an old reactor shell. Each day, he brought food and water. Each night, he listened to her labored breathing echo through the dark. For a week, they barely spoke. When she could finally stand again, she insisted on helping, patching holes, moving debris, scavenging parts. "You should rest," he told her. "I heal better when I work," she said simply. There was something fierce in her, discipline carved by battle, pride tempered by pain. But there was something else too, shame. One night, as the stars returned to the blackened sky, she finally said it. "We burned your colonies. Your soldiers never ran. They fought until their hearts stopped. I was there." Eli didn't answer. He only stirred the fire. "Then maybe feeding you is how we both make peace," he said at last. She looked at him, searching for anger, and found none. That was the moment she began to see him differently. 3, the storm. A month later, a storm rolled across Varen's Reach, acid rain and thunder shaking the ruins. Sarah's shelter began to flood. Eli waded through the chaos to reach her. The water burned through his sleeves. But he didn't stop. He found her shivering, trying to hold up a failing wall. "You'll die if you stay," he shouted. "Then help me hold it," she yelled back. Together they fought the storm, shoulder to shoulder, until the winds broke. Afterward, drenched and exhausted, they sat in silence under a flickering light. "Why risk yourself?" she whispered. He shrugged. "Because if I let you drown, I'd never forgive myself." She turned her face toward him, eyes bright even in the dark. "You humans are strange." He smiled faintly. "We get that a lot." 4, the promise. By the time the first rebuilding fleet arrived, Sarah could walk without pain. She stood beside Eli, watching the new ships descend through the ash. "They'll take me back," she said quietly. "My people will want me to answer for surrendering." "Then don't surrender," Eli said. "Stay." Her eyes widened. "You would have me among your kind?" "Why not? You already eat our terrible food." She laughed for the first time since he met her. A soft, almost human sound. "And what would I be here?" she asked. "Whatever you want," he said. "Engineer, fighter, friend." Her gaze lingered on him. "Friend," she echoed softly. But that night, when she left, she kissed his hand before she went. 5 years later. It was 5 years before he saw her again. By then, Varen's Reach was alive again. Children laughing, factories humming, stars visible through clean skies. He was working late in the power yard when he heard footsteps behind him. Still feeding strays human? He froze, turned. There she was, armor new, hair shorter, eyes the same fierce silver. "Sarah, you kept your promise," she said, glancing at the rebuilt city. He smiled. "You kept breathing. I call that progress." She stepped closer. "My people have changed. They no longer hunt humans. They rebuild with them now." "And you?" he asked softly. She hesitated, then reached into her pack and pulled out a ration bar, the same kind he'd given her years ago. "I thought I'd return the favor." They ate together under the same ruined skyline where they'd first met, and when she leaned in, he didn't flinch. "You fed a starving warrior once," she whispered. "You didn't know you were feeding your future wife." He smiled. "I figured as much when you started stealing my tools." She laughed, and this time he joined her. 6 Epilogue. Their union became legend. The soldier and the builder, proof that kindness could bridge even the scars of war. When their daughter was born years later, she carried her mother's silver eyes and her father's stubborn heart. And on the anniversary of the day they met, Eli always brought Sarah one small ration bar, wrapped in old cloth. "A reminder," he'd say, "that peace can start with something as small as a meal." And she'd smile every time.